Some of you may not have realized that I'm not part of the club. What makes them so mad is when you don't want to be a part of the club. That pisses them off.
Well, who are you hanging out with? Are you hanging out with Diddy? What are you doing?
I mean, yeah. Then I get a call from somebody. Hi, Jamie Foxx. This is Oprah. I'm like, who? Yeah. Wait, what? What? Who's that? This is Oprah. She says, you're blowing it.
It seems like Ice Cube dropped a bombshell on Jamie Foxx, revealing what Diddy and Oprah did to him. No one saw it coming.
What club am I talking about? I'm talking about the club of gatekeepers that we all got to deal with.
Is Oprah than to burn the American flag?
Really?
Seems that way. I've never heard anybody criticize Oprah.
Yo, what's cracking? You know what it is? It's your homeboy Ice Cube.
After making it through one of the most perilous rings in Hollywood, you'll have to overcome obstacles no one should ever have to overcome. Not only have Oprah and Diddy been implicated, but so have Quincy Jones and Sidney Poitier.
Then I get a call from somebody. Hi, Jamie Foxx. This is Oprah. I'm like, who? Yeah. Wait, what? What? Who's that? This is Oprah. She says, you're blowing it. I just started crying. I was like, man, yeah. And he says, your performance made me grow 2 inches. And I was like, I appreciate it. And he says, Oprah and I would like to give you one thing. I said, what's that? Responsibility.
What then was Ice Cube's actual statement? Hollywood is famed for its beauty, but beyond the red carpets and flashing lights lurks a far darker world. A world where some of the greatest actors were reportedly coerced into terrible scenarios. And one guy who was there the whole time is Jamie Foxx, according to new accusations. Foxx has been a household name for decades, but until recently, only part of her story was known. Rumor has it that Oprah Winfrey and Diddy, two of Hollywood's most influential individuals, pimped out Jamie Foxx. The story will be turned on its head by what Ice Cube has just disclosed.
Some of you may not have realized that I'm not part of the club.
It's more controversial to criticize Oprah than to burn the American flag.
Really?
Seems that way. I've never heard anybody criticize Oprah. Do you think it's political, or do you think it's deeper than that? I mean, you're not like a right-winger.
No.
No? You don't even seem that political.
No, I'm not really. I'm pretty much, just want to do right by the people, So if that comes through political means, that comes through the private sector, wherever it comes, I'm down to work with whoever's down to do something right for the people.
So I remember reading you say something along the lines of, I didn't vote for Trump, I'm not a Trump voter. You actually attacked Trump at one point, but you were willing to meet with Trump. Do you think that crossed a line?
I think some people didn't like that, but I think it's idiotic. Enemies meet. I've been excluded on Oprah,
On Oprah?
On Oprah, yeah, I've been excluded. Yeah, man.
I would think you'd be the person Oprah would want to promote. I mean, you grew up in South Central, you were successful at a young age, you have dignity, you say what you think. Like, I thought that was the goal.
Me too. I don't know what it is, but, several of my, I had a movie called Barbershop,
Yeah, I remember.
That I wasn't invited to participate with the cast. I produced a show called Black White, and it was a very controversial show. And once again, they had the whole cast on, but I wasn't invited. And so I don't know.
On Oprah's show.
Yeah, so I don't know what that's
But Oprah's obviously a saintly, godlike figure who's revered by all decent people.
Why did Oprah reportedly push Jamie into Sidney Poitier's world, and how did Diddy, Quincy Jones, and others play into it? And more importantly, how did Jamie survive? According to Jamie Foxx, his climb to success wasn't only about skill, it came with a price he reportedly paid by being transferred around between some of the industry's most senior executives. And who's at the core of these allegations? None other than Diddy and Oprah.
Then I get a call from somebody. Hi, Jamie Foxx. This is Oprah. I'm like, who? Yeah. Wait, what? What? Who's that? This is Oprah. She says you're blowing it.
Jamie Foxx sharing new details about the mysterious medical emergency that led to his hospitalization last year.
Well, I know he poisoned Jamie Foxx, and Jamie Foxx reported him to the FBI because of it.
Popped out the town car with a camera. Said, yo, Puff, yo, you gotta let me film this. The whole thing, we need to document this, Playboy. He was like, yo, let him through. And I'm like, all right, I'm through.
And it's not just Jamie's comments. Ice Cube just came forth with a surprising revelation about what truly occurred to Jamie Foxx at the zenith of his fame. In 2023, Ice Cube published a tape from his podcast on social media, alleging that he is not part of the insider club that has most of the hotshots at its beck and call. Cube then went on to clarify that his audience is likewise not member of the club. You know, all the celebrities who are part of the industry elites also disseminate the criminal agenda to their audiences. Therefore, they automatically make them members of this alleged club.
Yo, what's cracking? You know what it is. It's your homeboy Ice Cube. And some of you may not have realized that I'm not part of the club. And a lot of you listening to me right here, right now, you're not part of the club either. And what I realized with the club is what makes them so mad is when you don't want to be a part of their fucking club. That pisses them off. What club am I talking about? So, what am I gonna do to deal with these motherfucking gatekeepers? Well, what I'm gonna do is go on the Gatekeepers podcast tour. And I'm gonna go talk to everybody, you know, and get a chance to get my message out to the people. Be able to let people hear from me, you know. And you know, you might agree, you might not. But the important thing is, you know, for me to go on these platforms, say what I feel about.
Now, you may be thinking, what is the issue with this club? Well, Ice Cube broke the code on the industry elites. He said that even though the club wants all the powerful persons to be under them, they get pissed off when the big fish, such as Cube himself, refuse to follow.
Makes them so mad is when you don't want to be a part of the club. That pisses them off.
Well, the so-called secret society has a monumental influence on its members' lives, one of them allegedly being Jamie Foxx, and the word on the street is that Jamie has been on their hit list for quite some time. Looks like the industry is loyal to no one but itself, according to ICE. All the celebs have to face this club one or more times in their career. Well, the so-called secret organization has a massive effect on its members' life, one of them supposedly being Jamie Foxx. And the word on the street is that Jamie has been on their target list for quite some time. It appears like the industry is devoted to no one except itself. According to Ice Cube, all the celebrities have to confront this club one or more times in their lives. You see, what people don't know is that the gatekeepers are responsible for much more than keeping the existence of this club out of the public sight. So, it is not out of the range of possibilities that Jamie's 2023 medical catastrophe was somehow tied to the Hollywood elites, and notably notorious hip-hop tycoon Sean Diddy Combs. To understand Jamie's troubles, we need to first go deep into his tangled connection with Diddy. Foxx has long been a visitor at Diddy's famed parties, gatherings that have been the subject of crazy allegations for years. Some believe these events weren't just about music and enjoyment.
There has been negative propaganda put out about me that's not true.
Hanging out with? Are you hanging out with Diddy? What are you doing?
I mean, yeah, popped out the town car with a camera. Said, yo, Puff, yo, you gotta let me film this. The whole thing, we need to document this, Playboy. He was like, party. And he got pissed at me. He said, yo, don't Playboy, don't play with me. You know I am, I'm Diddy, you know what I'm saying?
So Jamie Foxx suffered a very serious medical emergency that landed him in the hospital.
For those in the know, Diddy's opulent lifestyle comes with a price. Many celebrities who have attended these meetings frequently leave with more than just recollections. Insiders have claimed for years that Diddy exercises control over people closest to him, either via extortion, persuasion, or worse. And Jamie Foxx? Well, he was one of Diddy's regular visitors, which made folks question what precisely was going on behind closed doors. According to T.I., there was a time when Diddy reportedly forced Jamie Foxx to play a game of basketball. Yes, you heard it correctly, basketball. Diddy, renowned for his wild parties and larger-than-life demeanor, apparently came up with this outrageous plan to break the ice and make the night memorable.
If you want to know like who was probably at these games, just look at like who P. Diddy and Jamie Foxx have been hanging around for years, especially the super successful ones.
I cannot even begin to tell you how far it took me and how it brought me back. I went through something that I thought I would never ever go through. And I know a lot of people were waiting, or wanting to hear updates, but to be honest with you, I just didn't want you to see me like that, man. I want you to see me laughing, having a good time. Now, by being quiet, sometimes things, get out of hand. People saying what I got. Some people said I was blind, but as you can see, the eyes are working. The eyes are working just fine. They said I was paralyzed. I'm not paralyzed. But I did I went to hell and back. And man, I know they talk about people crying on videos, you could do take two, but I'm not gonna do a take two. It is what it is. And if you see me out from now on and every once in a while, I just burst into tears, is because it's been tough, man. I was sick, man, but now I got my legs under me, so you're gonna see me out. But like I said, I just want you to remember me for the jokes that I crack, the movies that I make. Some of them good, some of them ain't. I think I got a good one out. And the songs that I sing, man. And then, some people were talking about I'm cloned.
Now, can you image being at that party? Talk about bringing things to a whole new level. Say what you will, but Diddy certainly knows how to throw an amazing event. The major issue, however, is, did Jamie Foxx truly go through with it? Well, it looks like Jamie was a good sport and didn't shy away from the task. He welcomed the opportunity and dived straight into the game of basketball. Wow, that's obviously pushing boundaries and going far out of your comfort zone. But, hey, when you're around Diddy and other A-listers, anything can happen, right? But here's the thing. This wasn't Jamie's first time at one of Diddy's famed parties. In fact, an old footage of Jamie Foxx detailing alarming information from one of Diddy's bizarre parties appeared online last year.
I followed him the whole time. I remember watching Puff at the Beverly Hills Hotel. I'm filming this, and it's a pool party that is ridiculous, man. And I look up and I see Dr. Ruth. I don't know if you know who that is. The lady. The lady. I see Dr. Ruth. I said, Miss Ruth, could you please come over here? This guy by the name of Sean P. Diddy Combs. I need you to come meet him. I need this for my camera. Dr. Ruth and Puff at the Beverly Hills Hotel pool dancing, doing their thing, right? And you know what they dancing to? Over in the corner, God bless, is Heavy D, Andre Harrell, and they listening to a demo. You know what they do?
Back in the early days of Jamie's entertainment career, while he was still attempting to break into the music business, he attended one of Diddy's elite parties in Beverly Hills. Jamie, always smart, took a camera along, wanting to chronicle the night. And when he requested Diddy for permission to film, Diddy was all with it.
The big cannon, like, yo, Puff, I should document this shit, right? Yo, what's up, Playboy? What you talking about? I said, no, I should get this, man. You, Fonz, the whole nine. He says, yeah, let him through. Spent $1.5 million on this party? I said, you come to my house, I'll throw you a party for $400, and it will rival this, not in scale,
This wasn't just ordinary party. It cost a jaw-dropping $1.5 million, with a guest list consisting of A-list celebs arriving in luxury automobiles. Jamie followed Diddy into the opulent pool party, and the first person his camera captured was none other than Dr. Ruth, the famed Hollywood psychiatrist. Sensing a good situation, Jamie encouraged Dr. Ruth to have a spontaneous talk with Diddy directly on camera, and then, out of nowhere, Dr. Ruth and Diddy grabbed the dance floor beside the pool, vibing to Beyoncé's Crazy in Love. The situation was fantastic. The audience was enjoying it, and even Jamie Foxx offered a nod to the energy and spirit of the night while commemorating the late Heavy D. Jamie wasn't just a visitor, however. He took on the duty of teaching Diddy how to party on a budget. His anecdotes about demonstrating Diddy how to hold an outstanding party without spending a lot have become legendary. In fact, Jamie told the anecdote on The Colbert Show, reminiscing about how he converted Diddy into a frugal party pro. "I'm like, you are out of your mind." I responded, "Puff, I will throw you a party for $400 that will match this party," Fox said. Diddy was a little irritated at first, but finally went along with it. The following time he was in Los Angeles, he phoned and said, "Yo, Playboy, I'm in town. Make it happen." So Jamie said fine. He added that he went on to invite 200 of the coolest individuals until Diddy eventually came. I said, "Puff, look over there on the dinner table." I purchased Kentucky Fried Chicken. I placed it on a lovely dish. I grabbed Coca-Cola. I placed it in a pitcher. We are at $28 and we are kinging it right now. Fox has said that he began collecting musicians at his home because he was pursuing music, and having new and veteran artists there, listening to their recordings, helped him and others establish their careers in the business. His affiliation with Diddy enhanced his access to venues where he could easily engage with key personalities in entertainment. But apart from teaching Diddy how to party on a budget, Jamie also said that Diddy's parties were the wildest he had ever been to.
Pink and Young Miami has to bring across.
Wait, the Tusi.
Yeah, the Tusi. That's what they call.
I found out. I talked to my guy because I wanted to be informed. Because people was calling it Tusi, that's calling it the Tunchi. I didn't know which one it was, so I talked to my guy, and my guy filled me in, and then it made perfect sense. Tusi.
Talk to him.
With Jaguar.
Let's talk.
Education.
101.
So Tusi is but they take the cat and cook it up. And they fold it into the cup. Now, if you don't know what cat is what they call on the street special cat. It's a veterinary, it's a horse tranquilizer. Now, gay men have been using this for years. See, back in the day, if you went to a gay party or a gay rave, there was certain you will always find on hand. Viagra, ecstasy, Special K, and now see, the coke keep you up all night, but unfortunately, it gives you limp noodle because of what the blood flow is. So you want to fuck with a half-hard dick all night. So that's why you have the Viagra to make sure that the involuntarily stays hard while you're numbing yourself with the coke. Now see, that's a horse tranquilizer. So that relaxes all your muscles. You could get by 80-ton gorillas. You wouldn't feel a thing. So now, it's gonna stay hard. You numbed up and you high. You got the caffeine in you so you don't feel shit. And then you add that to put in the feeling that you've now blocked out, and now you got a party.
Freak off cocktail.
Yeah. So now, the Tusi, they done skipped all the steps. They condensed it. So you got the cocaine in there, and then you got the... And they say that some of the dealers add the in there. And the reason why it's pink is because they put the food coloring in it. They think, he said he think they got it from the Breaking Bad. You remember how they was making them, and they made it a special color, so they done that with the Tusi.
Wow.
It's the food coloring.
Yeah. Then I get a call from somebody. Hi, Jamie Foxx. Took me to Quincy Jones's house.
He was asked by Quincy Jones to fuck him in the ass.
So Rose McGowan has put Oprah on blast. Rose recently called out Oprah on Twitter over her past associations with some controversial men.
You'd think that the fact that Jamie Foxx is bedridden would keep him from spilling the tea on the things that happen behind closed doors in Hollywood. Well, think again, because the rapper-turned-actor has been on a roll lately. It appears that although everyone has been believing Quincy Jones is the gatekeeper of LGBT traditions in the business, Foxx could have just pulled another name into the equation. The name here is none other than Oprah, and not only is she above Jones in the ritual hierarchy, but it appears she could have actively set Foxx up to be taken advantage of by Jones. Dark, isn't it? I hate to be that guy, but spoiler alert, this is only the beginning of this narrative, so stay tuned. Generally, when Oprah's name is mentioned, everyone thinks icon. But the reality is, there's a lot about Oprah that most people do not know. I mean, yeah, her name has come up in one or two disputes about laws that should be enforced in the nation, but there's a lot deeper and darker side to the issues surrounding the TV personality. This is why Jamie's admission drove the whole social media into a frenzy over how she could possibly have been complicit in pimping him out to Quincy Jones. And as odd as that may sound, there's really a lot of validity to the claim. Jamie Foxx has been an industry stalwart for decades now, with an Oscar and a Grammy under his credit, as well as a best-selling biography. But in a recent interview with Access Hollywood's Scott Evans, Foxx said that his career nearly went a different route, until Oprah Winfrey came in to offer him some guidance. In 2005, Foxx was riding high from the critical accolades he got for his portrayal as Ray Charles in the musical biopic Ray, a role for which he would later win the Academy Award for Best Actor. But his jubilation had morphed into non-stop partying. Winfrey took note of this and contacted him up out of the blue. While the actor assumed her participation was because she wanted better for him, it turns out she had her own objectives all along. She said, "You're blowing it," Foxx recounts, since they were simply out partying and not taking the event properly. She added, "I want to take you somewhere so you can understand the significance of what you're doing." Winfrey brought Foxx to the house of record producer Quincy Jones, where an impromptu intervention had been put up. Doing an incredible impression of Jones, Foxx recounts being informed.
My sister Deidre Dixon, my daughter Corinne Marie saved my life. So to them, to God, to a lot of great medical people, I'm able to leave you this video.
I thought that was a funny line.
I know, she's pretty funny. My wife is a naturally very happy person, but the truth is that I study happiness because I want to be a happier person. I became a social scientist to learn about myself. It's me-search rather than research, and that was a really important thing. That over the past 30 years, I haven't cracked the code entirely, but Oprah and I have put together a handbook, an owner's manual for emotional self-management. It's worked for me.
I remember when Oprah first discovered you, Arthur. You want to tell that story?
Well, it was during the pandemic, and, you know, I didn't leave home for 322 days.
Yes.
And so I was reading The Atlantic and reading his column and being inspired and fortified by every week, every Thursday, there was another drop, and had a conversation with him. And afterwards I thought, wow, this is the kind of guy that if I was still doing the show, we would be calling him every day. Many times they would say, well, you know, I want my kids to be happy. Okay, so now your kids are out of the house. Then what? What does it look like for you?
Yeah.
So Oprah, let me ask you this. What does happiness look like for you now versus, let's say, 30 years ago? I mean, what research did you do while collaborating on this project?
Well, happiness for me now is more a level of contentment and peace of mind and satisfaction coming from purpose and meaning that I have in my life. So it used to be doing.
Yeah.
It used to be a schedule that I was just saying to somebody this morning, a schedule that if there was a space in the day, it would be filled.
Yes.
If there was an hour.
Because you wanted to be productive.
Yeah, it was being productive and always working.
But I like what you say, though, because people, you get the statistics and it shows that happiness is down.
Did you ever waver in your beliefs when the documentary director came out and said there was a timeline issue? Michael Jackson didn't have the train station.
You know why I have not wavered? Because I've had girls at my school who were assaulted and abused, and I have never won a case. And the reason I have never won a case is because when you put a girl on the witness stand and she can't remember was it Thursday time is it? So if you can't remember the day and the time and the da-da-da-da, everybody's like, well, okay.
I guess it never happened.
Guess it never happened. Oh, it was. I said it was that hotel, but it was that hotel. Oh, it probably never happened. So I've been through that.
And that did happen with
It would be happy. Yeah. 1,000%.
You think Obama had anything to do with any of these parties that he had?
Absolutely. You got presidents, you got preachers. P.D. Jack is one of the biggest black preachers around that everybody loves. Everybody in prison, if they try to get the word of religion, they're not going to the chapel somewhere. They turn to watch P.D. Jack. He had to resign from his whole his whole community.
That's right.
You talking about the top of the top.
Unbelievable.
Of the top.
Man, I got a lot of questions with this guy, but you answered the first one. How do you get away with something like this for all this time with all these people that are allegedly involved?
You've done a great job on Ray, but you fucked everything else up. Now you've got to buckle down, baby. He adds, Oprah says, now, are you ready to meet the person I've brought you here to talk with? And that was Sidney Poitier. Poitier remarked, I saw you one time. You were at a party? Do you remember that? Fox responded, yes, in tears. And Poitier responded, when I watched your performance, it made me grow artistically too. And I give something to you. While this contact may not be regarded the least bit unusual with any other individual, the fact that it was coming from Jones appeared to send shivers down Fox's spine. And I'll tell you why. If you have even a slightest amount of interest in Hollywood, you must know Quincy Jones. He is a famous producer, musician, composer, the Black Godfather of the business. Jones has produced an incredible number of noteworthy performers over his career, including Frank Sinatra, Aretha Franklin, Rufus, and Chaka Khan, and the most famous, Michael Jackson. But this is not the only reason he has been in the media for decades. Quincy's sexuality has long been a matter of enormous interest on the internet. It has long been rumored that he pushed guys into homosexual relationships in return for making them famous and successful in Hollywood. As disgusting as it seems, the list of Quincy's alleged hookups appears limitless, but two names from Quincy Jones's background have always been the most discussed: Tupac and Will Smith. It's been long reported that Jones pushed them into sleeping with him, and that this unclear connection impacted them a lot as he supposedly sought to convert them homosexual like him. If you remember, there was an interview in which Tupac exposed Quincy Jones for his sexual approaches. Up the interview, Tupac said that Quincy asked him if he could stick it in his backside. But guess what? The interview was inexplicably deleted from the whole internet. Only someone as prominent as Quincy could achieve anything like that. Since Tupac is no longer alive to validate the recording, Quincy must have chosen to wipe his hands of his filthy activities. Even Napoleon seemed to refute all these accusations. When challenged in an interview about the purported link between Tupac and Quincy, he denied everything and backed Jones. But no matter how much they attempt to disguise, viewers still remember every word of the two interviews. One user wrote, I heard the audio of Tupac saying that about Quincy with my own ears about 10 years ago. Quincy is, or was, the key holder to the black music business. Anyone at the highest level had gotten there by attending in his gatherings. Dre. But this is not the first time Tupac voiced his dissatisfaction with Quincy's reported unpleasant conduct. Back in the day, he made bold statements about industry friends. So was he alluding to Quincy Jones for having others bend to his fetishes? It could be true. Since Tupac and Quincy were pretty close throughout his career, maybe Quincy viewed it as a chance and chose to make his move on Tupac. They were close to the point where before his murder, Tupac was even contemplating quitting his company, Murder Row Records, to join Quincy's outfit. And if he'd done all of this to Tupac, do you honestly believe Jamie Foxx would have been an exception? I'd think it's very improbable, which is why the actor has presumably decided to expose both Quincy and Oprah. While it is easy to doubt that Oprah would have been responsible for Quincy developing a fancy to Fox, this is really not the first time the television host has apparently permitted assault by someone close to her. A time ago, a British actress stated that Oprah had been an accomplice to Harvey Weinstein sexually taking advantage of her. Actress Katie Noble claimed she was head over heels pleased when she first met Weinstein at an event in London because he was hanging out with Naomi Campbell and had megastar Oprah swinging off his arm. I thought, obviously this man has something amazing in store for me, she claimed, during a news conference in Manhattan to explain the sex trafficking case she filed a day earlier against Weinstein in federal court. After seeing Weinstein in London, Noble claimed she thought nothing of taking her showreel to his hotel room when she visited him again in Cannes in February 2014. Once inside, however, he didn't seem that interested in my showreel, Noble added. Instead, he started groping her while considering connecting her up with a modeling agency in London. Noble is the latest in a long line of actresses and models who allege Weinstein either forced himself on them or pressured them into sex, with promises of professional development. This is someone Oprah has particularly been close to throughout the years. For those who may not know, Harvey Weinstein is an American director who ascended to become the face of an abuser during the #MeToo movement. In a series of bombshell pieces, it became apparent that Weinstein harassed and attacked scores of women for decades and used his influence to coerce them into quiet.